got no doubt. This life ain't got no ceiling like. You won't break me, I won't back out. I just can't shake this feeling like I'm going so high. I got no doubt. This life ain't got no ceiling like. You can't stop this. You can't stop this. You can't stop this. You can't stop this.
Got some more millies that keep me in that.
Miami has a Dolphins, the greatest football team.
No faults. We call them chopsticks cause they gonna chop. Took her out of filers cause of hop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. Cardiac eye. I'm the boss man in a suit with no tie. I can't be, I gotta stay.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Miami Dolphins. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, Chan. Green 19.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2 yards, good enough for a first. The Dolphins are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Here we go. Green 19. West right there.
From the gun, here's Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
At their own 35-yard line.
looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here on first down.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An explosive 38-yard pickup. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 27.
79 Broncos.
They'll send the tight end in motion.
Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. 26 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. The last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
That's right. Delta. Go.
Fields. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go. 5, Angel. Check, go get him.
Fields now to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
58, who's here's that? Extend.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
That's caught. Beckham. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
319, guys, what?
Now HN on 1st and 10.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
Here we go. Blue 58, Blue 58.
Back to throw, Fields.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 3rd down.
You talk about this Seahawk defense.
They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Go.
To throw is Fields. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Mayday. Don't jump. Ready? West right zip. 551, 12 go. Right.
Here's Fields.
Throw left side complete. That's Hill. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
It's a gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Third and 5.
Here we go. We good.
He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Great job of tackling there to prevent the first down.
One of the toughest skills in football, open field tackling. A lot of times one-on-one against a shifty receiver. He got it done in a nice way that time.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Here we go. 19 windy, 19 windy. Here we go. All right.
They get this out quickly to the left side.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Up, turn, turn. Right.
And strong run there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
That'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5 from the 8.
Here we go. 331, 331. All right.
Here's a toss left for H.M.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Third and 4.
Here we go, son. Blue 58, blue 58. Sit high.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe. Defensively, they were all over that. When he decided to keep it, there were a lot of eyes just darted on him.
I wonder if he followed the progressions properly there. I think maybe he really wanted to run with the football. Turned out not to be the correct decision.
And his kick is good. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it?
And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 54 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Mustang 19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
Back to throw again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. From 4 yards out.
And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10.
14. Dolphins 10.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's now 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Hey, Ken. Here we go.
Here's Fields.
He finds Lashley complete over the middle. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The offense on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Devon Achane
With career touchdown number 70.
And the Dolphins are able to move back in front.
Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 17-14.
17. Seahawks 14.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Jacorian Bennett has it.
And a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
11. Angel.
Now it's Fields.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great
Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point run down the middle. And these guys will take a 10-point lead.
Seahawks 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
2nd and 9 now. His throw incomplete.
The man's going to go loose for the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
Tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
19, Panther 60, Panther 7 Pirates.
They'll try and throw for it here.
And his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Here we go.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. That's a first down.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Seattle.
Warriors 70. Let's ready.
They'll look to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do. But let's face it, you know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
The drive starts with a run from H.M.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
46-yard line.
Here we go, son. Easy. 319, just what?
Again, it's Achane.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Chip slide. Medic. All right.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4. He got 4 on 3rd down.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down.
Now Fields.
And that is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. And he'll find Mosley there. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Hey, here we go. Go.
Achane gets it from the gun. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here we go. We good. 19 seconds.
From the 27, Fields. He's going to go up top for the end zone.
And that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
58, who's that?
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. On now the Miami field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick here is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
Yeah, that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
Big yardage there on the scramble, and it gets him a first down.
On the ball, on the ball. 19 Tigers. Check.
It's a gain of 25 yards. And the Seahawks first down.
Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Elijah Arroyo,
31 yards.
and the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
The kick is good.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. 2 yards to go, second down.
Nope, here we go, I'm good. Blue 58, blue 58, met it. One strike. Hey, Ken. Delta. Tonight.
Back to throw. Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
70 Rangers, 19 Warriors, 70. Riggs.
Looking to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Hey, Crash. 79 Broncos. Trap 50, trap 60. Cup 19.
Back to throw here. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Fix the Eagles. Ready.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Panther 11.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And here, you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Dragon 60.
They'll look to throw again.
That's down the field. He's got Arroyo.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Lions.
They'll throw now on the final play. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle.
Elijah Arroyo.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Seahawks 28.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far to the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulting in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
It's second down.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
19 Tiger.
They'll look to throw here.
That incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his second, but instead it's fourth down.
Come on.
They're going to try and throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete on the deep ball. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Here we go. Hey, Ken. All right.
Fields. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
And nursing such a small lead, you thought he'd take better care of the football after his last drive. Now for the second straight possession, he's put all the pressure right back on his defense. They need to take a stand and hold that lead.
Seven Pirates. Let's go. 60 back.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Ready, set.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time. And it'll be second in a couple.
60 Wildcat. 79.
They'll drop to throw. Now a run here off the RP. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Seahawks take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will put them on top here in the third. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, My replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
Don't jump. Ready? You got it. Green 19. That's it. Go.
Fields now to throw. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked up by Nicky Manroy.
And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
18, run, 18, ready.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a 1st down here.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Back. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready, ready.
Here's Walker.
And he pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Go. Get it. Ready.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Elijah Arroyo, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here we go. We're good. Alpha, 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 alpha.
To throw is Fields.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill.
It's a gain of 12 yards. Brings up 3rd and 13.
3rd down and 13.
Mayday. Here we go. Green 19, extend. Hey, Ken.
Watch the motion.
All right.
Here's Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Reek Woolen. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept the pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
They'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ranger. Here we go. 18 Rodney. 8 Bronco 8. 79 Broncos.
They'll set up a throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
On the jump. Let's go now.
In motion, the tight end.
Panther 60.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
19 Lions. Come on.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Miami. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Gets it out quickly here to the left flat. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Here we go. 331.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the
Fields changing the play.
Go.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Fields.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Don't. Hey, Chan. 331. EQ. Hey, 551.
Now it's Fields.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 43 yards.
Here we go. Right.
Up the middle, Achane.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
now 2nd and 6.
Hey, Can. Right.
Yeah, he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Matter. Here we go. Blue 58, that's right. Right.
Here's Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
4th down. Fields has to have this one.
That's to his running back, complete.
And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
Here we go, son. Go.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And who's got it? The defense does. They recover it in the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and the scoring opportunity turned away.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
They sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the 4th quarter.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Now back to throw. Going for the deep ball. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but it did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now he'll tuck this and run. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
Now Fields. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone.
319, Angel.
Back to throw. Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, Alpha. You got a mini bases. Why not? Alpha, let's go.
Looking to throw. Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Nicky Van Loring. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Buffalo 18, Cup 18, Pioneer, Warriors 17, Cup 19, Cup 19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there.
65, yeah, 65. Here we go. 70 Ray, 70 Timberwolf.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left sideline is complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Bravo 80.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They stopped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Come on.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, and there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Don't jump. Ready? Up. 331. Hey, can. Hey, can. Right.
Out of the gun, Fields. This one thrown underneath to Achane. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try to throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Chips left. Go.
They snap it to Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
To the air again, Fields. And he fires one incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Here we go, son. Turbo, son.
Fields. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14.
Seahawks 56. Dolphins 42.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to 9. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
19 Lions. Mustang 19. Viking 18. Let's go.
Back to throw here. He's got a man that's caught left sideline. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks tack on another score as they have dominated this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here. And we'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Fields. Under pressure, they got him again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
EQ. Don't jump. Ready? West right, 331, 331.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on